Hi, today I thought we'd do a posture workout, and I thought we would look at using a pole to help with posture, to help open the chest, relax the shoulders, keep a nice length between ears and upper shoulders, and to work the muscles at the back. We will be working the core a little bit as well. But at the moment, I think we're all sitting in front of computers, we're slouched in front of the television on a sofa, or generally getting stressed. And if we can think about being a little bit more relaxed in the upper body, then that would be a good thing for everybody. So this pole is simply a pole which I bought from B&Q. You don't need a particularly special pole. In fact, if you've got a sweeping brush, just unscrew the end, and there you've got a perfect pole which you can use. So there's no excuses for not having the right equipment. I want you to take it slowly. I don't want you to force anything. It shouldn't feel forced. It should feel a gentle increase in mobility and flexibility the more you do these exercises. But the pole is geared at stopping shoulder raises where you don't need them, so that you can stay open in your chest. I'm going to have the timer set to 30 seconds for each exercise, with just a 5 seconds in between, so that I can explain what the next exercise is. What I want you to do is to think about doing about 10 repetitions. That will take approximately 30 seconds. But it's about 10 repetitions that I'm looking for, and then you can go on, you can repeat it, you can go on and do more by yourselves, whichever works best for you. So I'll set my timer. I want you to think about 2 different posture positions. So I'm just going to explain that before we start. So I will later on be asking you to put the pole behind your back. So you're behind at the top of my shoulders with my hands on the pole. And just turn around so that you can see what that looks like from behind. So that's where the pole is, relatively comfortable. Now, if that isn't comfortable for you, and it isn't comfortable for everybody, then I want the pole to go in the crook of your arm. So again, you can see I've got it here, so it's in my elbow. It's a slightly easier position depending on the flexibility of your shoulders. But you'll see as we go along. Right, timer at the ready. Off we go. So I want you to start off by holding the pole out in front of you and giving me some shoulder circles. So I'm sending my shoulders away, and I'm trying not to bend my elbows. Okay, and then let's send them the other way. So roll them the other way. Wonderful. Raise the pole up in the air. Lift your hands to the ceiling and then lower your shoulder blades down your back. So lift them up and lower them down your back. So it should feel like you're engaging the muscles around those shoulder blades to get that length from ear to shoulder. Okay. Lower the pole for me. Right, I want you to think about pole in front of your chest, palms to face me. So then I want you to simply raise and lower the pole. So you're raising and lowering. Again, I want you to go for about 10 times. Now when I raise the pole up in the air, I'm trying to keep my shoulders down my back. So I'm trying not to let those shoulders come up to my ears. I'm trying to be nice and long through the shoulders. Okay, so we should be coming up to about 10 now. That's super. Okay, so then just give your shoulders a little bit of a release. I want the pole on your thighs, Again, I'm holding just a little bit wider than shoulder width. And I want you to lift and lower. And raise and lower. So again, I'm trying to get a good opening. I'm sitting up nice and tall. I'm not arching through my lower back in order to get that length. So I'm reaching to the ceiling, but I'm keeping my shoulder blades down my back. Then I want you to grip onto the pole, and this is quite a grip, because I want you to pull and try and pull the pole apart. So imagine that there's a break down the middle of it, and you're trying to pull it apart. Now in that pulling apart, try and pinch a pencil or pinch another pole between those shoulder blades. So I'm thinking about opening my chest out and sending my shoulder blades back. Okay. Now I want the pole to come back to your knees. Now you've got a big movement, so you're coming behind. So you want to hold the pole at the end. That makes it a little bit easier. So you come over. You might find that you don't get all that way to start off with. You might find that you only get to this point, in which case come back. Don't force it. Wait until it comes. I'm not moving my lower back at all. I'm keeping that straight. Okay. Keeping your hands at the end of the pole. Hold that pole up. This time it's coming behind you. Now notice I'm not jutting my head out in order to let the pole slide up and down my back. Deliberately not on a ponytail so that the pole doesn't move the ponytail. But you might only get to that point, in which case keep it at that. Okay. Then while the pole's there, I want you to hold on to it. I want your palms to be facing your bottom. I want you to lean forwards, and then I want you to raise and lower. So you're going to raise and lower, again about 10 times. Now my arms are straight. I'm trying to open my chest. I'm trying to get my shoulder blades to touch as I raise and lower. I can feel the muscles in my upper back working. I've engaged my core to keep my stomach muscles switched on as I go forward so that I'm not hunching at all. Okay, for this next section, keep that chest open, keep your shoulder blades down the back. Then I want you to bend, so I want you to bend your hands towards your bottom. So your elbows bend, nothing else can bend, okay? Shoulders stay where they are, elbows bend. Stomach muscles are engaged, chest is open. So lengthen and bend. So you let that pole get closer to your bottom. Super. Okay, I'm going to come round to the front. Now I want that pole over your shoulders, holding onto your hands, and then I want you to come over to that left side, back up to straight. So over to the left side, back up to straight. Now as I go down to that left side, I'm pressing into my right foot. I'm trying to keep my hips as level as I possibly can. Now it may be that the pole in this position is a bit too difficult, in which case I'm going to demonstrate the easier position on the other side. Okay. So I'm going to put the pole in the crook of my elbows as we go over to the other side. So I'm going over to the right side, but I'm pressing into my left foot, so that I'm not letting that left foot come up. Press the foot into the floor to keep the hips nice and level. Okay. Again, you're going about 10 times over, so you should feel it nicely into the waist. Okay, I'm going to keep my pole in this easier position. This time we're going to twist to the left-hand side. So I'm twisting and coming back in front. I'm not trying to twist my head further than my shoulders will go. So my hips are nicely facing, and this is particularly why it's good to do this sitting down because now my hips are fixed. I can't cheat, whereas in standing I could possibly do that. Okay, there's a limited range of movement. Think about moving from your tummy button. I'm having the pole in the more advanced position. Now I'm going over to the right hand side. So I'm getting a twist. I'm thinking about how far I can get my tummy button towards the side. But I'm not over twisting my head and my neck. So again, it feels quite strong, but it's controlled. All the time, it's controlled. Super. So I'm going to go up to standing now. And I want you to think about some standing balance moves. So we'll go back to having the pole in that advanced position, but if you want to put it down into the less advanced position, that's absolutely fine. Okay. So this time, we're going to raise one leg and twist, back and down. Okay. So stay on one leg as you raise and lift. So I'm on my left leg and I'm twisting. So I twist and down. So I want you to stay on one side as you think about that twist. So you're staying controlled. I'm lifting my right leg up straight and I'm twisting towards the right. So I'm twisting towards that knee, but I'm not trying to bring that knee towards my left shoulder. Lifting up, back down again. Okay. Again, if that starts to get strong, move the pole down to the easier position, it still works. So we go to the other side. And you may well find that one side works better than the other. So you twist, back down again. All the time keeping a nice open chest. See, I can't cheat by bringing my arms around because my arms are held by the pole. So I'm going to make that slightly harder now by going from side to side. So I want you to go one side and the other side. So then we're incorporating a little bit more balance. And thinking about your waist. So you're actually giving me a standing abdominal exercise. I know you're probably losing the top of my head a little bit, but if I come too much further back, the pole gets the wall. Okay. So again, bring the pole down if you need to. I'll do this next one in the easier pole position. Okay, so I want right leg out to the side. So as you come, you're bringing your shoulder, your right shoulder towards your right knee. Almost as if you're trying to get that pole inside the inner thigh, if you can. And the balance is not easy. And it looks a bit silly. Okay, I'm going to do the second side in the harder position. So I'm holding onto the pole, going over. So I'm working into the side of my waist. And if you think this one looks silly, the next one looks even sillier. But does that really matter if you're working your posture and your core? Hopefully not. Okay, so your last one, stand up nice and tall, get ready, and you're coming side to side. So now you have to think about your balance. You're opening your hips, you're working into the side of your waist, but your shoulders are nicely down your back, your neck isn't stressed, everything should be in its proper place, which is good. Well, and if you fall over, that's fine. Not a problem. Little bits of wobbles show that you're actually working hard and show you that actually it's not that easy. So hope you enjoyed that. It's a lovely sunny afternoon, which is why we've got so much sunshine coming into this room. So have a go with the pole, have a go with your broomstick, and hopefully it'll help you help you open up your chest, work your shoulders, and work your arms at the same time, and your waist. Thank you very much.